Hello students, welcome to the EVS2 session. Today let us start with one more new topic. Lesson number 7, Swaraj, First Conquest. Conquest means Vijay. Children, in the last lesson we have learned that Shivaji and his comrades took the oath of Swaraj in the temple of Raireshwar, but it was a very difficult task. In those days, Maharashtra was governed by four different powers. Number 1, the Mughal Emperor of Delhi. Number 2, Sultan Adil Shah of Bijapur. Number 3, the Portuguese of Goa. And the last one, the Std of Janjira. They were powerful opponents. Opponents means competitor, firm in their authority. No one would dare utter a word against them. Under these conditions, that is the very difficult condition, Shivaji had taken the oath of Swaraj. So children, it was very difficult for Shivaji to go against these powerful rulers, as these rulers were having very big armies. There was no comparison between the vast forces of the enemy and a handful of Shivaji's marvels. Children, thus we know that Shivaji Maharaj was now upcoming. He was having very few soldiers who were working under him. But the four powerful, that is the Mughal Emperor of Delhi, the Sultan of Bijapur, the Portuguese of Goa and the Std of Janjira, they were having very big army. They were very powerful. But Shivaji Maharaj was having only few soldiers, that is the marvels, who were ready to lay down their life for Shivaji and Swaraj. But Shivaji's mind was made up and his firm resolve means sankalp, was his greatest source of strength. Now let us study something about Torana Fort. Shivaji controlled the Jahagir of Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur. All the forts in the Jahagir were, however, in the charge of officers from the court of Bijapur. Now children, we know who was the ruler of Bijapur. It was Adil Shah. He who controlled the forts also controlled the surrounding territory, and therefore all talk of Swaraj without the control of the forts was meaningless, children. So children, it was the rule of that time that whoever is controlling the fort is ultimately controlling the Jahagir. So whatever Jahagir was under the control of Shivaji, all were meaningless. Why? Because Shivaji Maharaj was not having a single fort under his control. So first Shivaji have to take under his control a fort. Then only he is going to have some control over the Jahagir also, the area also. A hill fort gave strategic support. Strategic means planned, calculated support to the ruler, and Shivaji decided to capture one at a suitable time. For this purpose, he had selected the fort of Torana. The Torana fort, it stands to the southwest of Pune in the Kannad Valley. It was a very renowned fort, famous fort, well suited for defense. So children, when Shivaji Maharaj came to know the importance of capturing the fort, he decided that I am going to capture the Torana fort. Why? Because it was at a very great height. From there he can see each and every one, that is his enemies and everyone who all are going to come to his fort. There were two strong machis on the way to the fort. Now what is a machi? A machi is a fortification of a natural plateau. Plateau means an area of fairly level high ground formed on the slope of a hill. Here in the picture you can see children. One of these machis was the Zunzar Machi and the other the Budla Machi. Zunzar Machi, like its name, could offer powerful defense against the enemy. The only SS means the only entry to the fort was across the Zunzar Machi. Now, what was very special of this Zunzar Machi? Let us see. It is a very difficult passage with high hills on one side and deep valleys on the other. A careless person may easily lose his balance and end his life in the deep valley. So, children, if you want to cross this, you have to be very, very careful. If you just lose your balance, you will die. Torana was considered one of the strong forts of Maharashtra. In the fort, there is a temple of goddess Toranjai. That is why the fort is called Torana. Strangely enough, this powerful fort was neglected by Adil Shah. That means Adil Shah did not think of capturing it. It was just neglected by him. There were neither enough troops for its defense nor enough ammunition. That means nobody was there on the fort to look after it, and no guns or nothing was there for its defense. Shivaji knew this, and this was the exactly what he wanted. He decided to capture the fort and thus lay the foundation of Hindvi Swaraj.